Good afternoon, my friends, and welcome. We are here today at Universal Orlando because we do have our third brand new speculation map for HHN 34. We have a bunch of new changes on this map to go over, and we do finally have some symbols for the scare zones, which I do think a lot of you are going to be very surprised by and some probably upset about it. So enough talking, let's go ahead, get in there, have a great time, and dive in. I'm actually very excited about this one. We've had 5 house changes and we finally got some symbols added to the scare zones, which I'm gonna get into details about all of it. But I will say the lineup is starting to become better and better each spec map that is being dropped. And usually by the time we get closer to like the third map, it's kind of spot on. So I'm excited about the lineup we possibly have coming this year. All right, guys, let's get right into it. So, like I said before, we have 5 new symbols for the houses, and then we have some scare zones to talk about. So first, let's talk about everything that's new regarding to the houses. So this is actually kind of one of the harder ones that I had to figure out, and I've seen a lot of people had trouble with it also. And it's this columns, the Spanish columns with some art. And I did a lot of digging on this, and I'm going to say that we may, just may, have an icon that is from Singapore and HHN there, and that is the Killustrator. The Killustrator is a crazy demonic artist who turns nightmares to life through his illustrations, and his illustrations just terrorizes everyone around him. I've actually heard this rumor a while back, and I didn't really believe it because I didn't think they would bring an icon from Singapore down to Orlando. But then I thought, we've brought Jack the Clown to, if I'm not mistaken, Japan last year. So why can't we bring somebody else's icon to Orlando? So it makes perfect sense with the symbol that we have. And that's the only thing I can really think of. And I've seen a lot of people talking about it, but I didn't really believe it until now. Looking at that symbol, that's like the only thing I can think of that compares to that type of symbol. So we will see. I think if the Killustrator does come here, it will be one of the best original houses that we have at this event, because I did see the videos of the house in Singapore, and holy crap, it was a very detailed, decorated house. And I think the HHN creators down here will take it up to another notch, and it could be one of the best original houses we've had because he is pretty cool.
Now, the time has come to rip my work from the page and let it bleed into your world. Watch the stories I have drawn come to life. There is nowhere to hide from the creatures I have created. They hunger for your fear. There is no escape. The world you know is gone. Your fate is mine. Welcome to Halloween Horror Nights 10.
Then we have the next symbol, which is the raven wings with a scythe, and it has like a dead tree in the middle. Now, I actually touched on this topic on my last video. You can check it right here. I went in full detail in regards to that symbol, and I actually got made fun of for saying curator wrong. I was saying curator, but it is curator, so there you go, guys. But I said it was either the curator or it was going to be the Pumpkin Lord. Then we have the next symbol, which is a Viking book with some snowflakes coming down. And that was actually 2 symbols mixed in one, because we did have the Viking ship on the last 2 spec maps, and then we also had a book with some snowflakes coming down on the other 2 spec maps also. But I think that's going to be a sequel of Vikings Undead, and I think it will be based upon them attacking a village in the winter. That's the best I can think of. Let me know what you guys think about that one. I don't know per se what else it could be, because it seems like it's just a story of Vikings in the snow. So that's kind of how I put that together, because we did have the Vikings Undead Scare Zone not too long ago. So let me know what you guys think in the comments about that one. Next symbol is the toy bin, and that one has been changed 3 times now, because the last 2 spec maps we had the TV station and we had like an astronaut suit, something like that. But now that it's a toy bin, I'm thinking the last 2 things we've had have been toys, and what I think that could possibly be is something that was in HHN Hollywood in 2023, which was the Toys Scare Zone, something similar to that. Maybe not the same thing, but something similar to that. And that was based upon like a, let's just say a toy maker uses his dark magic to make evil toys come to life. I think that's the type of house we would get regarding that one. So let me know what you guys think about that one, because that's a very interesting one also. Then the next symbol, we do have like a campfire, and I know everybody's gonna be happy about this one. I think Jason is genuinely coming to HHN this year. There's been rumors, and they have been growing stronger and stronger by the day, and I've been hearing from other people that I know that, yeah, it's a real possibility. So I think that would be like a Jason Universe house. And my reasons for that is because, one, the owner of the Jason Universe literally came out with this new look that he will be leading the role of the movies, gaming, and also immersive experiences. What are some immersive experiences? HHN. I think it's a real possibility we could have him. Now, I don't think there would be a Camp Crystal Lake. They might have to name it something else, because that is owned by Friday the 13th. So we should have a Jason Universe house, adult Jason, not kid Jason, adult Jason. But I think it will be a really good house, and I think HHN would have a fun time writing that one up. Now for the scare zones. So we actually got some symbols for the scare zones, and I have decoded each one. But the problem is we only have 4. Now, I know some people are going to be angry about that, but I will tell you, last year we low-key had 4 scare zones. I mean, I think what they're saying on this map is that the chainsaw horde at the front of the park is not really a scare zone, and it is not, to be honest. I think we're going to have that similar structure with a chainsaw horde in the front, and then we're gonna have the 4 scare zones that we usually have. First one on the map that I see is the Jester, and I think that's going to be like a monster Mardi Gras type of scare zone. We will see. I can't really go into details about it, but I do think there's going to be like kind of like a piece of slot of cinema too inside the house, something similar to that style. Then the next scare zone, we have one that's like a half cat, half like wolf. That's what it seems like. But I think that one is giving me vibes of a mutated animal type of scare zone with a forest type setting, because I feel like for the last 2 years we have had a jungle and a forest type setting for that area. So I think that's what we'll be getting for that scare zone. Then for the third scare zone, we have like these 3 dash lines, and it has like a movie clip which tells me it's going to be at IP, and that is in the, I would say, quote unquote Blumhouse area. Usually we have a lot of Blumhouses in that area as far as a house, and then we had the Blumhouse Scare Zone last year. And M3GAN is coming out. I'm thinking it's going to be M3GAN, of course. It looks very obvious because it looks just like the E in the M3GAN title. So I think that's going to be a M3GAN Scare Zone, unfortunately. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not really a huge fan of a M3GAN Scare Zone. I don't know how scary you can really make that, but it seems to be another M3GAN Scare Zone coming back this year. Then the last scare zone we have is like a toxic sign with some test tubes, and I was thinking that this could be like a scientific experiment gone wrong. It could be a scare zone full of mutated humans, or it could be mutated monsters, just something like a scientific experiment going wrong. So let me know what you guys think about those scare zones. I don't know how I feel. I'm gonna be honest, especially about the M3GAN one. I like M3GAN. Look, I like M3GAN. There's nothing wrong with M3GAN, but there's not much to it if you want to put her in a scare zone. I'm just gonna have a bunch of little M3GANs running around. So we'll see. We'll see. Now, for the rest of the 5 houses, they're pretty much staying the same as far as the symbol goes. We have 5 Nights at Freddy, we have Terrifier, we have Fallout, Hatches and Chains, and the WWE house. I feel like those rumors have been pretty strong, especially the WWE house. It's been coming on very strong because it died for a second, but now it's starting to be a very strong rumor. This is the second map it's been into. I was in the second map and now this one. So I think those 5 are really, really strong right now. But what do you guys think about the entire map, or at least my map? I would love for the Killustrator to come to HHN. That would be pretty awesome. On our way to Fast and Furious, but I wanted to talk about this truss right here because they just put this up, and one of my viewers brought up a great point. Now, I said this could either be for Jaws or HHN, but it's possible that this entire truss could be for both, because honestly, they don't have much time, so they could be putting this up for Jaws and then keeping it here for Halloween Horror Nights. So we'll see if we're correct about that. And like I said in my last video, that is not for Grad Venture because it was just put up, and Grad Venture has already been undergoing. So that is definitely either for Jaws or for HHN or for both. So there really isn't an update in the Fast and Furious queue, unfortunately. So we have struck out twice, but at least we got to go over the speculation map and see some possible houses that could be here and finally get some symbols on the scare zones. So not a bad day. We had a great time today. Let me know what you guys think, if the Killustrator is a possibility. I hope so. I would love to see the Killustrator here. Looks like an awesome icon. So who knows? Who knows? But if you guys did enjoy this video, go ahead, smash that like button, share, turn notifications on, and most importantly, subscribe. And you guys have a great rest of your day. See ya.